Greetings, Boogie fans! Michael here, and welcome to the newest installment in my ultimate Pokemon tier list series, where I provide you a list of tier lists of various categories of Pokemon, where the ranking is based entirely on my own opinions of said Pokemon. A few quick disclaimers before I get started. First, this is the approximate meaning or significance of each tier. And secondly, the ordering within a tier is meaningless. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let's start with my first tier list for the Gigantamax Pokemon. My most recent tier list video was about the Gen 8 new Pokemon, but I didn't include the Gigantamax forms because I hadn't had enough time to really get to see them or form an opinion on them. But now, that has changed. Gigantamax Hatterene has personally offended me by busting out of every single Pokeball I have ever thrown at one, and I have faced off against literally 15, so I'm pretty mad at it for that. Also, it looks like a peanut. I can appreciate some aspects of Gigantamax Alcremie's design, but in the end, it's still just a cake to me. It seems too much like an object rather than a creature combined with an object. I think it's pretty dumb that Duraludon turns into a building when it Gigantamaxes. Why did a cool metal dragon become some goofy looking skyscraper? Again, it looks too much like an object and not like a creature. I don't dislike Gigantamax Meowth's design, but I don't like that it was introduced alongside a Galarian form for Meowth when it already had an Alola form. There's just too many Meowth variants now. Gigantamax Eevee is cute, but I don't think it differs enough from regular Eevee. It just looks like it got slightly fluffier. I like the design of Gigantamax Flapple and Appletun, but I don't like that the forms are identical. I understand that they're connected, so it makes sense for them to look similar, but wholly identical just seems lazy to me. Even if the difference was subtle, at least it should be something. I really liked Gigantamax Copperajah when I first saw it, but then my friend Pokemon7 described it as a Squidward looking thing, which is hilarious, but also I can't unsee it. I realize now that those of you watching this video will also not be able to unsee it, and for that I apologize, but I had to explain my opinion. Like with most of my B tier opinions, I think all of these are fine. I think they are solid designs that are reasonably creative. They just don't stand out to my personal tastes. As much as I want to dislike Gigantamax Charizard for being the epitome of special treatment, I can't. It looks so freaking cool, so I have to put it in A tier. But hey, at least I kept it out of S tier because of the whole special treatment thing I just mentioned. I think Gigantamax Gengar is solid, but the reason it's bumped up to A tier is because I think its shiny is extremely cool. I like Gigantamax Corviknight because it's Corviknight, and Corviknight is freaking awesome. My only criticism of it is that I feel like it could be a bit more unique from regular Corviknight, since it mostly just looks like a Corviknight with its wings spread out wide. This lack of change might have dropped it to B tier for me, but then I saw its shiny, which is freaking incredible, so it's definitely a solid A tier. My biggest criticism of Carkol and regular Coalossal is that they don't keep Roly-Poly's really cool orange eye, and instead get regular bland white ones. Gigantamax Coalossal fixes that problem and adds some other design aspects that I think make it look cooler than regular Coalossal, so I like it. I like Gigantamax Sandaconda for two reasons. The first is that I think the design concept of it turning into a sand tornado, or as I call it, a dust devil, is really cool. The second reason is that I have fought 12 of these guys before the event ended and caught every single one of them. In other words, it was very nice to me. I like Gigantamax Centiskorch, first because I already liked Centiskorch, but second because it actually delivers on the statement that it has 100 legs. It literally does. Like, I opened the model in the Pokedex and counted all of them. It actually does have exactly 100 legs. I like Gigantamax Grimmsnarl for being the most evil-looking Pokemon to ever exist, yet somehow remaining a fairy type. That is hilarious, and I respect the hell out of him for it. Garbodor is not a popular Pokemon, so that's why I love that it was the only Generation 5 Pokemon selected to get a Gigantamax form. That's just really cool for it. Also, even though I know they're supposed to be toys, The design concept of the trash pile being so large that massive vehicles are stuck in it is freaking brilliant. I already liked Dreadnought, and seeing its Gigantamax form made me like it even more. It looks like a powerful, menacing kaiju, and that's pretty dope. Gigantamax Toxtricity is my favorite Gigantamax form because they took an already really cool Pokemon and made it even cooler. I love the glowing eyes and spiky electric energy just bursting from its body. I can't wait for it to be added to the game and to get a chance to use it myself. So that covers the Gigantamax Pokemon tier list, but before I move on to the next tier list, I have a quick announcement. It is not a brand deal, so please don't skip ahead. The announcement is that the Metronome Battle Federation, the Pokemon Draft League that I created where only the use of Metronome is allowed, is finally returning for its second season. I know a lot of you guys really enjoyed the first one back in the summer of 2018, so I'm looking forward to posting it again. It will be posted to my second channel, MNJTV Plays, and I've actually already posted an introduction explanation video over there that goes over all the rule changes and the new teams and competitors. The link to that video and my second channel is in the cards, so be sure to go check that out if you're interested in the MBF Season 2. All right, that's the end of the announcement. I told you it'd be quick. So now on to the next tier list, new evolutions of old Pokemon. So to further explain, any Pokemon that was introduced in a generation after its pre-evolution. I'm not doing one for new pre-evolutions of old Pokemon because all new pre-evolutions of old Pokemon are baby Pokemon, and I've already done a baby Pokemon tier list. I'm also cutting out the evolutions because I did an evolution tier list, and I'm not doing any Galarian form evolutions because I included those in the new Pokemon tier list, so watch that if you want to know that. Lickitung was already an extremely stupid Pokemon, but they somehow succeeded in making it look even stupider. It's just Lickitung, but fat. It never should have existed. Rhydon was such an excellently designed Pokemon, and I really dislike how they screwed it up by turning it into a pudgy, earless version of it, covered in orange cookies. Rhyperior is certainly not superior. Probopass just looks stupid. The giant nose is simply ugly, and the metal filings mustache look like extremely unkempt nose hairs. It's gross. Bellossom is cute, but it's boring. It's not stronger than Vileplume, and I don't really understand the reasoning behind adding a branched evolution to the Oddish line. It almost would have made more sense as a standalone Pokemon. Blissey is part of the Chansey line, and I've just never been that into any of them. Tangrowth is a perfectly logical evolution of Tangela, but I don't like it much simply because I've never liked Tangela that much. All of the B tier Pokemon I am again fine with. They don't stand out much, but I certainly don't dislike them. Of all of them though, I'd say Roserade, Ambipom, Mismagius, Honchkrow, and Togekiss are my favorite of B tier, simply because I feel like their pre-evolutions were the most deserving of new evolutions. Steelix is freaking cool. Onix has always been a cool Pokemon, and Steelix is a great improvement upon it. A rock snake becoming a stronger metal snake is a great design idea. Kingdra is also very cool. I do like Seadra's design more, but I still like Kingdra. As a kid, I was super into Hitmontop due to its cute design and fun combat style. I don't love it as much as I used to, but I still think it's a great Pokemon. Weavile is vicious and terrifying, and while I've always kinda liked it, recently learning from its Gen 8 Dex entry that it hunts Mamoswine in packs has made me like it quite a bit more because that is badass. Magnezone is easily my favorite member of its line. It looks sleek and powerful while representing the design aspects of its pre-evolutions in an excellent way. I've always thought Electivire was great. It's a big, buff, powerful fighter that's part of my favorite type. What's not to like? Magmortar is an objectively goofy looking creature, but I still somehow like it. I think it's the cannon arms. Yeah, it's gotta be the cannon arms. It's hard not to like those. Mamoswine is a very solidly designed Pokemon that's grown on me more as I've gotten older. I've talked about my love for Crobat in many videos, so I'll just quickly say that it's been one of my all-time favorite Pokemon ever since I was a kid. Scizor is a fast, sleek, bright red combatant. Anyone who doesn't think it looks cool is full of crap. I've been drawn to Yanmega ever since I was a kid. I think because it looks like a fearsome bug without being gross. If it was stronger, more accessible, and maybe was a dragon type, it may have become one of my all-time favorites. Gliscor is in my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time. I love its shiny and design, and I've had a ton of fun using it. All around fantastic Pokemon. Gallade is also one of my all-time favorites. Its elbow swords are super fun, and it never fails to look regal. The next tier list is a silly category, multi-headed Pokemon. For this definition, all of the individual heads have to be attached to the same body. So Pokemon made up of several individual creatures like Phalanx or Execute, those don't count. Alolan Dugtrio is one of the worst Pokemon designs ever. They took the old one and slapped hair on it and called it a regional evolution change. That is wildly stupid. Binacle's faces are simply ugly. They look like angry demon toddlers. I've never liked regular Dugtrio because the design choice to make Diglett's evolution just 3 Diglets has always seemed kinda dumb to me. I like Klink's evolution progression of becoming a more complicated gear train because I'm an engineer and I think that's interesting, but that can't change that Klink itself is just 2 soulless gears. Doublade is just 2 different colored Honedge, a Pokemon I wasn't that into to begin with. I do like Aegislash though. Barbaracle is an improvement on Binacle, but it's still a weird, kinda ugly Pokemon. All of the B tier Pokemon I'm fine with once again. And yes, Magneton is in B tier despite the fact that I put Dugtrio in C tier for being just 3 of its pre-evolution. I guess I could justify this with the fact that I liked Magnemite more than Diglett to begin with. Galarian Weezing is a really creative improvement on Weezing. I love how it purifies air, and learning from the decks that it came about during times of terrible pollution made me like it a lot more. It's really cool to know that it came to exist to help save the environment. Combee is cute. Cherubi is also quite cute. I just mentioned Magnezone in the last tier list, so I don't need to cover it again, and Hydreigon is a pretty cool and menacing dragon. I like it a good amount. So that wraps up this installment of my Pokemon tier list series. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon who are helping support the channel individual of fluctuating YouTube ad revenue. If you want to help support me in the same way and get cool perks like your name here at the end of the video or access to videos early with no ads, the link to my Patreon is in the description below and will also show up on screen. Also, if you want to check out some more of my fun Pokemon content, I recommend this video here. And of course, don't forget to check out the MBF coming back on the second channel. All right, that's all I have for now. So till next time, Pokefans, gotta catch them all.